Hey, Ramona. I was steady talking. I didn't know if you could hear me or not, boo. I'm glad you made it home. You've been getting them hours, girl, for sure. You got to do what you got to do, and it's thank God that you're able to, have the strength to do it. That's the whole thing. That's how I look at it. I worked a couple jobs. I worked two jobs like that at one time. So I absolutely 100% understand. So we're going to wait and give some people time to come in. And we can do one thing I love about. Oh, let me add you to the stage, girl. Baby girl, there you go. Hi,
Hey,
Lakeisha.
April.
Hi, baby girl. I'm steady talking. And I said, I ain't even add my honey to the stage. Come on.
How you doing?
What? Girl, good. Just, being my regular zany, off centered self.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hi, that's right, girl. Thank you. That's right. I know. Hey, Ray Mary. Hi, Dana. Hi, Lakeisha. Yeah, we have Ramona back, and she worked. Got what did you work, girl? Tell us what's going
I
on.
worked yesterday afternoon from 7, and I just got off at 11 o'clock this morning.
Lord, girl, how do you
Yeah,
feel,
I
boo?
was instead of me going back this afternoon from 3 to 8, and I know they got checkpoints. I was like, you know what? I'll just go ahead and just work straight through and just get off at 11. That way, I don't have to worry about being on the roads because the cops already out pulling people over down here. So I'm like, I ain't even feeling that.
Yeah, I know that's right, girl. They was out full effect yesterday too. I said, that's right. It's the holiday.
Yeah,
Let
but
me
no,
chill.
I feel good. I feel like I got a lot of energy, but once I lay down, I know that's gonna be it. What happened, April?
Girl, I fell out the chat. I looked up and I was dropped. I said, "What? Come on, girl." I'm telling
Oh,
you. That's why I don't like messing with Streamyard. I didn't touch anything. I just looked and said, "Well, what? Well, dang." So, guys, if we drop out the chat, we're gonna come right back. Okay. Hi, convos with Candace. Girl, I listened to your live, girl. Much love, much respect for you, girl. You are such an articulate, very intelligent, very straightforward sister. You are one person that people would be blessed to have on their team, and I mean that, girl. That was a great, great live. So motivating, so inspiring. I just admire you, and I mean that, sister. I mean that now. You got God's grace, God's blessings and graces upon your life. Absolutely. Hey, good afternoon, Cheryl. We have once again we have Ramona back. She's going to talk, do some recapping, catch up on how things are going for her, how she's doing spiritually, mentally, and physically. We be transparent over here. And I asked her to come back. And if Miss Lawanda comes in, I want to see if she wants to come back on the stage again, and because we talked about it, but it was kind of like not ended abruptly, but I think there's some more things that we can, talk about. And hi, royalty queen. Good afternoon. So, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. If you want to come on the panel, let me know and I'll drop the link. Okay. And good afternoon, Marva Booker, beautiful lady. Good afternoon. I see you, baby. All right, so Mona, catch us up a little bit on where you are, you know, physically, and what's going on with you, how you're doing.
well, first of all, I'd like to say hello to everyone in the chat. I don't remember everybody by name, but hello to everyone in the chat. Thank you for coming. Um, as far as how I'm doing mentally, At first, I was not doing good because it really affected me being with him for 17 years, married 16, for him to just up and leave. It really affected me. But like I said, just through prayer, praying, going back to church, talking to God, my mental health is really good. I'm really in a good place. If I was to see him right now, it wouldn't even affect me one way or another because he is a whole clown to me right now. He's dead to me. I don't think about him. Karma's going, he going to get his. But I do
Yeah.
forgive him for what he did. And it's not for him. The forgiveness is for me because I can't move forward in my life and get where I need to be if I'm holding on to him, holding on to grudges. But no, my mental is real good. I got family and friends around me that, not really friends because I don't really have a big circle of friends because I don't really trust people like that. If I
Right.
trust you, you'll know. But I'm just kind of like stay to myself. But I have a handful of people that I talk to and that checks on me and make sure I'm good. But I'm still waiting. It's been like, I think the 8th will be what, 4 months, because he left in March. Since he left, I'm just waiting to go to court to find out what, everything's going to be. I'm not waiting until a divorce to change my name. I'm going to do a Tina Turner. I'm getting my name back. um but as far as that, I just, like for people to kind of keep their eyes open. You really don't know who you're dealing with when you deal with people, because when you deal with a narcissist, they mirror you, and everything that you like they like, and then you'll be like, oh, I can't believe I found somebody that like everything I like. And just gotta kind of keep your eyes open. I'm not saying every man is, but there's plenty of people on YouTube that I have tuned into that have helped me, that have taught me things that I did not know. Like I said, I'm not an expert. I'm just talking
Mhm.
from my experience. And the things that they do, you people, I mean, my own mother don't even believe he's this crazy person. I'm like, because he never portrayed it, because
Right.
he had a mask on. I mean, everybody that see him, they think he's such a good man, he's such a good person. I'm like, okay, but you don't live with him, you don't know what I went through, the physical abuse, the emotional abuse. And some people like, well, why you just didn't walk? You just can't up and walk away when you have so much time invested in. When you look at how things was when you first got together versus how it was, you would dwell on, okay, this is not the person that I fell in love with. He can
Right.
change. You can't change nobody. Person can only change if they want to change. And
That's right.
as time went on, I started to get indifferent, and he started to sense that I was not feeling him like that no more. So instead of me, leaving him, he had to one up me and leave me before I left him. And that's what they do. They always try to one up you, you
Mm.
know, and then they devalue you to keep you under control.
Right.
It's crazy, and they know exactly what they're doing, and their family is in on it too. It's not just men; it's women. It could be your parents, it could be your family members, it could be your kids. Like I said, it's just not one particular group that is like that. And then if they see that you're happy after you left him or he left you, that kills them. They can't stand it. They don't want you to be happy. What they try to do is they try to break you. And this
Mm.
man, he really did try to break me, but he didn't break me. Mm-mm,
That's
mm-mm.
right, baby.
No, he did not break me. But I tell you one thing, I ain't trying to be funny, but when I go to court, I'm gonna have a big old diamond on my finger so he can think what he want to think.
No, that's right. And you tickled yourself.
Look here, I'm going right to Timo and get me one of them diamond rings and put on my.
I know that's right. Do the darn thing. Oh
Hey,
my
I have to.
God,
I have to laugh to keep from crying. I have to. I
that's
crack
right.
myself up. But
That is such a devastating thing for everyone that came in and that is in the chat. I don't know if I let you guys know how I met Ramona. Ramona and my brother had a relationship many, many years ago. My brother had came to, and look at this time, guys, it's real weird because I don't remember. I wasn't in down south in North Carolina or South Carolina when my brother was here. Actually, he was here before me, and I didn't even realize that. So Ramona and my brother have a beautiful daughter. How old is Shamari?
Shamari be 29 in February.
Wow. Okay. And girl, you look good. So let
Thank
me
you.
tell everybody how I we actually finally met. Well, when you guys remember, my brother came to visit, and he stayed at my daughter's, and he, we had a cookout. So Ramona came. Her and Todd hadn't seen each other for many years, so they came. Ramona's family came, and that's how I met Ramona. And Ramona just fell in love with my spirit, and we just
Yeah.
connected. Yes, we just really connected. I have been, corresponding with um, Ramona and Todd's daughter, throughout. We're friends on Facebook. So it was actually like, matter of fact, I met her on numerous occasions. And when I look back at it, guys, I should have plugged in to Shamari more. That's just me, how I feel. But everything is in it has its time. You understand? Shamari has a rapping career. I've shared her in the sister circle. I've promoted her on my page. She's loves her craft and her art. She's very good at the rap. She puts me in the mind of Young and May. That's who her sound, and I love Young and May. So guys, go check out my niece. Her page is Top Bag. What is it, Ramona?
Top bag ENT.
Top Bag ENT. Okay, so guys, if you can go over there, check her out, subscribe to her channel, and support her. So, but anyway, that's how I met Ramona, and I'm very glad I did. And we just been on and popping from there, like we've always been connected.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm like Ramona. I'm not. I don't have a circle of friends. I really don't even go out with. Like I have a couple females that'll want to get me out the house, and they'll say, April, come and have lunch with us, and that's only like every 6-7 months. But I'm content that way. But
Hmm.
anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that. And Ramona, for some people that probably haven't been here and heard your story, you can kind of recap a little bit on what happened.
Um, I met my husband 17 years ago. I was just getting out of my second marriage to my second husband, and it's like when I didn't even have time to be by myself before he kind of crept in and did everything right, and I just fell for it because he love bombed me so hard that
Mm,
calling every day, taking me places, buying me things, going on trips. I mean, the love bomb was like out of this world, and I'm like, dang, where you been at? But, like I said, as time went on, things started to happen. He would ghost me, wouldn't come home, wouldn't answer my text messages, wouldn't answer my phone calls. He would lie about where he was at, lie about what he was doing. He would parade women around in front of me. And then when I say something about it, it's my fault. He had me thinking my kids and my family didn't want nothing to do with me, which I knew was a lie. My kids really wasn't coming around because they didn't like him. My family really wasn't coming around because they didn't really like him. You
okay.
know, he has done. Look here, Ms. April. When all this is over, I know what I'm going through. It's a test, and this is in my test that I'm going through. When I'm fully divorced, I'm gonna come back on your page and I'm gonna give you the whole testimony about what went down,
Yes,
how he did. Yes, because my story might help somebody.
that's
But all I can say is by the grace of God, because since he left, it's like everything turned around just like that. You can't tell me God ain't real. I know God is real. I tell anybody, y'all better get with it or get left.
Yes, he will cut. God, doesn't he show up when at the
What?
most difficult times in life, girl? You have that God of your understanding, because
Yep.
sometimes, like I'm gonna tell you, there are many people who after that have your same story, Ramona, the same that been with someone for that many years. That's like an invested lifetime, and to have
Mm-hmm.
it pulled out from under you, like just like that, that people will end up in mental hospitals.
Yep.
People
Yep.
will end up, unalive. It's that
Yep.
serious. It plays a toll, especially if you, like, if you still are in love with the person, or you still have that love, or you, whatever it is, you've been connected with them for that many years. So when that kind of thing happens, it is devastating.
Yeah, it is.
Devastating.
And that's what their objective is. Their objective is to break you. Like I said, they don't want to see you happy, and they already have a backup, because when you're not giving them that energy, giving him that energy that he was getting like in the beginning, and you kind of fall back. Oh, he go elsewhere. So he already got another. When he leave you, he already got the next person lined up. That's a
That's
fact. Yeah,
that's a
they
they
don't
were
like
already
being.
there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Just don't know
That's
who it is.
That's
And it,
painful. Uh, that's the and they probably, you never know how long was he living another life, while you guys were together. And because like early on, because they don't change, they don't just
mm-mm,
become a narcissist.
mm-mm.
That is something that is in them, and
Yep,
and we don't see it for a long time. You understand,
exactly.
especially if you're in love with that person.
Mm-hmm.
They say love is blind. That is an actual true statement. You don't see those things until God will say, looky here.
Yeah, and the funny thing about it, before we even got married, there was so many red flags, but he love bombed me so much that I overlooked the red flags. Even when we got married, it was red flags, and I kept overlooking it. But you
That's
know what? God had to remove him for me to figure out what was what. And ever since he's been gone, look here. Yeah, I did love him. Ain't no more love. Because every time I think about what he did to me and how he treated me, love. Okay. I was
right.
a strong like. I'm
That's
telling
right.
you. And I have to remind myself of that every day. I'm like, okay, he out here thinking he living his best life. But when karma come back around to bite him in that behind,
Yes.
don't
And it
call me.
is.
I don't know you. And then they have the flying monkeys, the people that they call flying monkeys. They'll call and try to they be fishing for information to take back to him, because
Mm,
he got a brother. His brother's a pervert, because he tried me before, and I had to tell my husband. But he called me one day out of the blue, and I was like, okay, how you doing? And he was just trying to fish, and I was like, okay, I got your number. I put him on block, and every time he tried to call me, I see when he tried to call me. He called me 3 times in one day. I'm like, why is he calling me so much? I don't have nothing to say to him. I blocked the whole entire family. Nobody in
that's
his camp can call me. I don't do social media, because that's the one thing they say is stay off their social media page, because they can be posting stuff. If they know you looking in the bushes looking, it's going to hurt you. So I don't do Facebook. I don't do Snapchat. I don't do Instagram. Only thing I do is YouTube. I don't have
yes.
time to be no that I ain't got time to be playing no games like that. You do you over there, you leave me over here. But they also say that, you know, he might not be, when they say hoovering, he might not be coming around for me to see, or but he know what I got going on. He watching
Yes.
me from a distance. But
That's right.
I want him to come through that door one good time. He won't leave back out.
That's
I'm
right.
telling you, I got something. I got something for him, but he ain't. You can think a person ain't gonna do something, but you can't put nothing past these narcissists, because they're demonic.
Yes.
That's like something spiritual you dealing with.
That's right. I believe that. I
If it was,
absolutely believe that.
if it wasn't for God, I'm telling you, only
That's
God,
right.
but God.
Only God, but God. That's right, Ramona. I and you know that are saying that you're right. The thing that the thing that we realize is we cannot change anyone. I learned that the hard way.
Mm-mm.
Ramona, I did everything I could to make him stop. Like I said, um, he was a cheater. He from the beginning to the end. And here's the thing, Ramona, I knew it before I married him. But when I moved back to Pittsburgh to take care of my mom, me and him, I was going with him before I left. And it was, those things, issues came up. So when I moved back to Pittsburgh, we continued to talk. He he was really plugged into me, and people were telling me that from the same town, April, he's really changed. He's really
Mm-hmm.
different. So then we started talking. Next thing you know, we started talking marriage. So I left to come back to live with him. I mean, to marry him. Went back down North Carolina, and my mom said, "Baby, please don't do this." And I said, "Mama, I have to do this to know if it would have ever worked. If it would
Right.
work, I love this man, and to know if I didn't do it, I would always for the rest of my life wonder if me and him could have had a life together. You understand?"
Right.
And a friend had suggested to me, April, okay, come back, but don't get married so soon. Just see what's going on. But no,
Mm-hmm.
Miss April had to get married. And listen, Ramona had the nerve to have a hairdresser, do my hair. Come to find out, him and her have been messing
Oh my
around,
God.
and she messed my hair up so bad. When I tell you, my hairstyle was horrible.
Oh, I ain't even can
She
tell you
put
what
a
I'd have
dye
did to
in my
her.
hair. Yes, isn't that evil? So I
Yes,
should
it
have knew
is.
right then and there I was headed for some trouble, and because I
Oh,
didn't know none of that until later on, I found out. Yeah, they were going messing around, and that was like her bread and butter. And here you come, and I did my hair, and I had to change it. Matter of fact, I had to. I think I put like a hat or something on it. It was that bad. Tore my hair up, broke it
oh, she
off
did
real
that.
bad.
She
Yeah,
did. She did that on purpose, and I would whoop her behind on purpose.
and you know what? Had I known that that was the case when she did my hair, that more than likely would have happened. But I found out down the road, so it just let me
Right.
know where I stood with her. But
Right.
I tried, and he was one. When I tell you, I learned some valuable lessons in that marriage. But when it was over, and I was still with him, and he told me, "I don't want you no more." That's just what he said to me. That thing cut me like a knife. And it wasn't and it had such an effect on my self-esteem. Now I
Right.
look at it and I say, and that's what I wanted to tell you. God has such an amazing life in store for you. He literally had to remove um, this man from your life so
Yeah.
that you can get he was literally blocking your blessings. And God said, God looks on the heart of a man. God said, Ramona does not deserve this. And sometimes that's painful. We feel like it's the end of the world, but it is not. It's just the beginning. Because once I was out of it and I started working, I just plugged into working on myself and building
Mm-hmm.
my own self-esteem back up and realizing it had nothing to do with me. I blamed
Right.
myself. I wasn't good enough. I didn't do this good enough. I didn't do that good enough because I was so in love with this person and was not ready for it to be over. So
Right.
it made me become more in touch with who I am, what I deserve in a relationship. I deserve the best. I
Yep.
deserve that because that's what I'm going
Exactly.
to bring. You
Ex-
understand? Yeah,
exactly. And
yeah,
I feel so much peace. You know, um, I'm just, affirm, doing my affirmation because, I'm about to move into another apartment. I'm downsizing. Once I move into my new apartment, I'm like, that'll be my fresh start.
yes.
It'll be all about me. And here on out, if you ain't giving me positive vibes and positive energy, look at you can kick rocks. I ain't got time for that.
That's
I
right.
done, I done had to block some people in my family because I ain't got time for that.
That's right.
I ain't got time for that. I don't. I'd rather be over here in my house by myself because my mom always said my house don't curse me, you
That,
know. And like I
yeah.
said, I don't hang it. Like I said, I don't have a problem going places, but I would never run into him because we don't run in the same circles because I'm more of a homebody.
Yes.
Whatever I can do out in the club, I can do at home. I can have my drink, my hookah, my music. I don't have to go out in the street because
Right.
you go out in the street, you might not make it home. You see,
That,
he was always the type of person that liked to go out to clubs. He liked to party. So I met him halfway, but a lot of times I felt uncomfortable because that's not my scene. I never ran the streets as a child. I always was a homebody. I never really went to clubs. I don't really know too much about no club, you know.
right.
So like I said, I'm at peace. I'm happy, but just I'm just watching my back, because you never know what's gonna happen.
Now, Bridget Omar says, sister, trust and believe the mother and the family always knows what be going on because they encourage them. Just like when they cheat, the wife is always the last to know, and the family knows, but you're the last to know.
And you know what's so funny? You are absolutely right. The family is on it. I help him bury his mother and his father, his two of his brothers, and a sister. Matter
Wow.
of fact, today is the anniversary of his father's death. His father died on 4th of July. And I helped his mama plan the funeral. When his mama died, I helped plan the funeral. I helped everything. And I ain't say, they say when a man, show how much he love his mother, that's how he gonna treat you.
Yeah.
That's a lie because the way he loved his mama, I mean, he loved his mama. When he get off from work every day, he would go see his mama, take her to play her numbers, did everything for his mama. He never treated me the way he treated his mama. So I don't
Wow.
believe that. I don't believe that because it's totally opposite from the way he treated his mother. But some kind of trauma had to have go on when he was a child for him to become that way. Because like you said, it's not nothing that happens overnight. That's something that he had, and something happened in his childhood. I can't say what it is, you
Yeah.
know, but yeah, and they don't like to take accountability for nothing. They
Mm.
don't. They don't like to take accountability for nothing.
Now, what
But
do you think you would do? Because it's like I'm the type of person I always want to I try to prepare myself mentally for what if this happened. What do you think? How do you think you would feel if you ran into him?
I wouldn't feel no way. Matter of fact, I have passed him in passing because him and my son work for the same, because they work a state job.
Hmm.
And, I've passed him on the road, but,
Wow.
normally if you see somebody you get a feeling, girl, I ain't feel nothing. I ain't feel a thing. And if I was to see him, I would not see him. He could be in my face and I still wouldn't see him. I don't feel anything. That it's gone. I
It's
mean,
gone.
it's been gone before he actually physically left. But the thing that get me is you could have tell me you was leaving. Okay, fine, but no, just to up and get your stuff, and I'm sitting here, and you getting your stuff, and you leaving, and don't say, "Well, I'm gonna be here." No, just like we girlfriend and boyfriend, you just up and leave.
Wow.
Okay, 16 years, you will see how much you got to pay for upping and leaving me.
Did
And
he just did you like did he leave in front of you or did he wait till you were gone?
no, his car got repossessed, and I went to turn the tag in. And when I came back to the apartment, his work truck was outside and he was in here putting his stuff in bags. I sat here at the table because my mama got me listening to, I don't know if y'all, you or people in the chat have heard of Terry Anderson from Lily Grove Baptist Church. Um, he's a pastor. He's very
Yeah.
good. So I was sitting here listening to Terry and one of his sermons, and I had it on speaker, and I was just sitting here at the table, and he was just getting his stuff. I ain't say one word. He was getting his stuff, putting it in bags. I ain't say one word. But one thing I noticed when I had the word of God playing, he was getting irritated. He got so irritated, he put everything outside the door, gave me my key, locked the door, and he got everything from, because he was taking stuff out the door. But like I said, when I was listening to that sermon and I had it on speaker, I was just sitting here watching him. I didn't say one word to him. He was just getting his stuff and leaving. He didn't say one word to me. I didn't say one word to him. And when he left, that was it.
Wow.
I don't know where he's staying at, who he's staying with. He's still in the area, but I don't know where he at.
Wow.
I don't know where he at.
17 years of marriage, Ramona.
Hmm.
Jesus.
Like I said, he did more bad to me than good. So, like I said, it did hurt at first because I'm like, and then I'm like, what did I do? And then, like I said, talking to God and listening to these people talk about how narcissists act and what they expect and what they do. Like, but each passing day, it's been getting easier and easier. And like I said, he's
Yeah.
dead to me. He's dead to
Yeah.
me. And if somebody come up to me and say, "Wasn't you married?" I'm like, "No, that was my twin sister Remy. I'm Mona." He was married to Mona. I'm Remy. Okay.
Bridget Omar said they live a double life and
Yep.
always denial about their whereabouts.
Hmm.
Convos with Candace said, how long has he been gone, Ramona?
Ever since March 8th.
Okay. You'll never forget that day. I know it, ever.
No, like I told my mom the other day, I just want all of this to be over with. But you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not going to forget what he's done to me. It's only going to make me a stronger person. But I do feel sorry for the next person that he get with because they're gonna get, they think they got something, but
Yeah.
when they start slacking off, giving him that fuel that he desire, oh, that mask gonna come off, and he could be X to the next, and yeah, he X to the next.
X
But
to the
like I said,
next.
it is so much that I want to tell you, but I got to wait till after. But once I tell you, your mouth and everybody mouth gonna drop. You could be like, what? Yeah.
Yeah, I can't
Like I
wait
said.
for that. I
Oh yeah, I
cannot
can't. I
wait for
can't. Like
that.
I said, this right here is gonna be a testimony, and I ain't gonna be ashamed to tell it because my story might help somebody. Because you don't know what a person going through, a person mental state. I mean, you just can't go around playing and toying with people like that. That's how people get killed.
Yes. Convos with Candace said, and go to her channel. It's called Combos with Candace and subscribe to her. Okay, baby?
It's called convos. Uh-huh.
CONVOS.
Uh-huh.
Combos with, second word, with
Uh-huh.
Candace.
Okay.
CANDACE.
Gotcha. I sure will.
I know you will. Ramona
I,
be on it, y'all. She's on the right side.
I be trying to catch everybody live, but sometimes when y'all be live, I be at work and I have to catch the replay. But I tell you one thing, that Davion daytime, oh my God. When I listened to her one night when I was at work and she was on live. Let me tell you, she had me at the job hollering. I'm like, oh my God, she is
She get
a
that from her mama, honey.
I'm
Roz is her
telling you.
mom. Yes.
Yeah, I subscribed to Roz's page.
What about Vanessa and Zay?
Yes. Yep.
Are you subscribed to Zay?
Okay, I can do Zay, but I am with Vanessa Pretty Vibes.
Okay, that girl,
Okay.
Zaba did a live yesterday. Zaba, Vanessa, Davion, and Roz, they go to their replays and check them out because they the roast masters over here, honey. I can't do it like that. I said I ain't even got the energy, the wit, or none of that. I'm like you, Candace. I'll just be ready to box, baby.
Man, look here.
I ain't got time to do all that
I
going
thought
back and
I
forth.
I thought Kaya was the queen of roast, but let me tell you, she ain't got nothing on date. Not that. They, they got that hands down. I'd be like, but when I want to laugh, I just go pull up one of her lives and just listen to her roast. I'm like, she is a mess.
Yes, yes, girl.
Yeah.
That's a fact. You are absolutely right. Everybody's talking. But hi, Lisa Clark. I didn't see you. And guys, I've been responding in the chat to say hello to you. Everyone, thank you for joining the live. And Bridget Omar said, sister, usually they've others watching you, and you will least expect, but sometimes it be your best friend that you thought was your friend that's having an encounter with. Yeah, I agree
Hmm.
with that too. Absolutely.
That's why
I'm just
everybody that I know that know him, they block.
right. Hi, classy lady, darling. I'm just amazed at how you. No, I'm not amazed because you, like you said, you did go. You did get with God when all of this happened, and that's, I believe, with everything in me, got you through it smoothly as it happened. Because, like I said, once again, those are such devastating, that's a devastating, I don't care, like especially the years that you were together, Ramona,
Hmm.
you know
Yep.
that. And then to keep yourself, your heart right. And then Candace had said something about, um if you do, because this will happen, and it happened with me, uh you miss them. It might be a period that you go through and you're feeling lonely. And Candace said, all you got to do is remember those days and
That's right.
remember the times. Yeah, and that'll change. It'll put you right back on track, because
Oh
that was
yeah.
my story. I started missing them and started second guessing, because
Hmm.
they had started trying to come back. So I started getting weak in my mind, and it was out of loneliness or whatever. Like I said, once again, that's why it was so important for me to do the self inner work and be okay and secure and know my true worth and my true value. Yeah, hi,
Hey,
Ro. Go ahead,
Hey,
baby.
April, you remember seeing my son, right? You see how big my son is, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Look here, I ain't gotta worry about nothing because he don't play about his mama and he don't play about his sister.
I can
Let me
see that.
tell you, my son said, "I wish he would." I said, "He ain't come back in here." I said, "That's my bodyguard right there."
And it shows, honey. He don't play.
Yeah, but I'm thankful for you for letting me, come and say because it's kind of helping me. you know, you might not know it, but it does help me to kind of talk about it because I really don't have too many people that I talk to about this. I kind of like to try to move in silence, but sometimes you can't keep it so much bottled up before you gotta let it out.
Yes, ma'am.
So I don't know. I'm thinking about joining the gym or joining, I'm thinking about going to the gun range and just using his picture as target practice because I don't miss on no target.
Those are good ideas.
I'm
For
telling
real,
you.
girl.
I'm
For
telling you.
real. I'm all smacking. I apologize, guys. Hi, Sandra Watson. She said, "Hey, April and Chad, happy 4th of July." Um, Dana's greeting her. Does anybody want to come up? I will drop the link, and you can come up and you can talk about anything. If you want to talk about what's going on, how you can relate, if you have any insight or any, suggestions, positivity, for Ramona, even for the whole group. Please, I just dropped the link if you want to come up. If there's anything that you want to talk about, you can come on up. What are you planning to do today, baby? Well, no, you probably ain't doing nothing because you worked all them hours.
Well, no, I've been wanting to try this crab boil that Aldi's have, but see, I've never had mussels. So I said, I'll try anything once. So I went to Aldi's and got me 4 bottles of wine and I got my little crab boil. I'm a
Okay.
ball that, sip on some wine, smoke on my hookah, and maybe I can catch some fireworks outside later. Other than that, I ain't
That's a
doing
good.
nothing else.
Now you know what? I'm gonna go to Aldi's since you said that. Now I want to go and check out, get crab boil.
Oh yeah, it's only
I
nine
didn't even
ninety
know they
nine.
had them.
Yeah, it's 9.99.
Oh
And
my
I just
god!
have, yeah, I'm gonna see how I just bought one to see if I like it. If I like it, then that'll be my every weekend thing because I've been wanting me some crabs for the longest.
Me too. You try it, and then that'll determine if I get it.
Yeah, because it come with
Absolutely.
everything. It come with the seasoning packet and everything.
What?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh my god!
yeah.
I was thinking about going to the other day. What is it called? Oh, I can't even think. It's a popular crab place where they do lobster boils. I love it because they have their signature sauces. They have
Right.
different, like you can get the king crab boil. You can add stuff because I love rice with my boils. I don't know why. The
Okay.
rice and the sausage. Oh my god!
See,
And I don't like the king crab. It's too fishy. It's
they don't
too.
really, they don't really have too many good seafood spots here in Charleston. But let
Mhm.
me tell you, there's one place in Myrtle Beach that I used to go every year called Krabby Mike's. It's a buffet. It's like over 140 items. It's like $65 a person. But let me tell you, I would get there right when the doors open, so the food is fresh and hot.
Ooh,
And man, let me tell you, I make sure I go there hungry. And I let me tell you, them crab legs don't stand a chance. I mean, they got so much seafood. Oh my God. But see, I don't want to take a day trip to Myrtle Beach just to go eat, because once I eat, you gotta walk it off. And
you
you
gotta
know,
walk
it,
it
it
off.
really it really don't fill you. You just full for a little while, and then you're hungry again because seafood is not really filling.
Right.
But yeah, that's a good restaurant in Myrtle Beach. Oh
I
Lord.
heard that too. Sandra Watson said, I've been through the exact same thing. I had children um, at that when she was in the relationship. Sandra Watson, if you wanted to come up, it's, of course, it's totally up to you, baby. You know, because you definitely have gotten through it. Do you have any suggestions? Do you have any, thing that you want to give to the the group that's here? Also, Bridget Omar says, sister, absolutely, the way that they treat their mother is totally a lie, because they will only bait you in
Mm-hmm.
all sorts of lavish things, and once they get you, either you tolerate it or you leave. And I believe that's
Yep.
Bridget was talking some good stuff.
Yeah.
That, because
Yeah.
it's true. Once they know that you're in and they got you, then that's when
Yeah.
they show their real self. They are. It's
Yeah.
it's a, it's a spiritual thing. I believe that,
Yeah,
honestly.
and a young lady who had kids with hers, you know, I thank God that after I had my son 22 years ago, I got fixed. I couldn't have no kids, but we did take in one of his grandkids because his son was popping out twins left and right. He got three sets of twins and couldn't take care of none of them. So we kept one of them for like 3 years until I couldn't do it no more. The little boy was bad. He didn't have no shots. When my husband would have to take him to the doctor, he would catch an attitude. I'm like, okay, you don't have his shots, you don't have nothing, because the mother was on drugs. She died last year from a drug overdose.
Oh,
So the kids was like spread out here and there. And like I said, the one we had, he was so bad. He would climb out the crib. He would he ate a whole bottle of Tums. He was playing with my husband. You couldn't even go to the bathroom without him getting off the couch messing with something. And like I said, we kept him 3 years, and I'm like, I can't do this no more. And he wanted him to move here. I'm like, no, my name on this apartment, not yours. No. And
that's
then he
right.
and then he blamed me because he had to send him. And when he sent him back, because my stepson, or at the time, ended up getting married, and the wife didn't like his previous kids. She only cared for the kids that she had with him. And they did the one that we had. They did him so bad. And from the last I heard, those boys should be about 9, and they getting put out of school. They cussing. They be on Facebook flipping off people. They be stealing. They so they got a lot going on. So I'm like, I'm glad I'm out that family. I don't have to deal with none of them no more. God
Amen.
bless them and all their imperfections, but I ain't got to deal with that no more.
That's right. I have some people that have some questions. Cheryl P said, I have a question.
Okay.
Whenever, when, excuse me, guys, whenever he seen you happy and or excited, did he try to make you upset or sad in the relationship? Whenever he seen you happy or excited?
Yeah, because okay, yeah, like every Christmas I have coworkers. One of my coworkers, her son is on the same age as his grandson, and her little son loved me to death. Each holiday, I don't care which holiday it is, he would go to the store and he would buy me stuff, and I'd be like, I'd come home, I'm like, look what Zabe gave me. Oh, my girlfriend, I call her my girlfriend. We've been friends for a while. And every year she know I'm a big Alabama Crimson Tide fans. She bought me a blanket last year for Christmas. I mean, she bought me stuff from my hookah, and every time and whenever they would go out places and buy me stuff, well, dang, you always come in here with something new. They sure love you. Every time I look, you getting something new. I said, I can't help it if I'm loved. I said, I
That's
can't help
right.
it if people love me. He would get mad. I mean, he would literally get mad. Like, I collect shot glasses. So anybody on my job over the years, even when we met, if I know you going this place and that place, bring me back a shot glass. I even had a coworker went and buy me a shot glass case, which I have to buy another one because I got so many shot glasses. And every time I would come home with a shot, well, dang, every time I look, somebody always buying you something. Don't get mad. I mean,
Wow,
he
that's
would
so
literally,
terrible.
yeah, he would literally get mad when I would get stuff. Yeah,
That's
he's very
awful.
jealous, very jealous.
And that's
But
yeah, that's the kind of stuff that would have me. Hey, chatting with Miss V. Hi, baby. That's the good. Thank you for joining the chat. And Tiffany, thank you, Tip, for the super chat or super sticker. I don't know which one it is. Thank you, darling. I appreciate you so much for that. Um, yeah, and that's one thing that would really, really. Now that kind of stuff makes me angry if I see my partner jealous because of those kind of things. Because if you're my partner, you would want to see me happy. You
yeah,
understand? That's why that kind of then see because that tells me that there's something wrong with you, and that now you have an issue with people blessing me. If I see people
yeah,
blessing my partner and I genuinely love them, I'm going to be happy for them. You
yeah,
understand? So
and
that would be a red flag for me. I'd be like, why are you jealous of people blessing me? When
yeah,
I'm blessed, you're blessed. Are you dumb or are you stupid?
and then every time we go out, always got to be about him. He got to be a center of attention. He got to do something to get everybody eyes on him.
Oh,
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And one thing I want to say, when we was talking about God, I didn't just turn. I don't want you to think that I just turned to God when He left. God was
right.
always with me. I always had the word in my heart. I always prayed and talked to God through my marriage. Asking God, what can I do? So God was with me the whole time. He was with me the whole time. I never put him aside or put him on the back burner. He was always right there in the midst,
Yeah.
always. So when he finally left, that's when everything came to a head. So yeah, so I always kept him close. I always kept him close.
Yeah, and I'm so, like I said, I'm just so and I so admire you and how you've gotten through this. That's a beautiful thing, and it is God will get you through anything, and that's been my testimony. For real, for real. Hi, Nellie Hill. Good morning. Good afternoon. Now it's afternoon. Thank you for joining the live chatting with Miss V. Chatting with Miss V. Would you like to come on the panel and talk a little bit if you have some experience or anything that you want to give as far as we're talking about narcissist, being in a relationship with the narcissist, or and it doesn't just necessarily have to be the intimate relationship. It could be any relationship. If you would like to, or anybody else, once again, let me drop the link. Because I do want people, if you do want to come up and talk and give your input or insight, um, we would be happy to have you. And if anybody
Um,
just wants to come up and give encouragement, go ahead, babe.
April, I saw in the chat where Bridget was saying that the crab boil out in California is like $19 and they being cheated. I mean, we paying like $9 for it, but it's not a big. Bridget, is not a big bag. It's enough for like one serving. And I see where Sam's got the bigger ones, but it's like $25. But I know like sometimes some place in North Carolina where you can go to a restaurant and they'll put it like, I don't know the name of the restaurant because when I used to visit Fort Bragg, my cousin at the time, she would go to the restaurant and they would get these seafood balls in a bag, I don't know the name of the restaurant, but man, it was so much seafood in that bag, and it made the whole house smell good. But I don't know the name of it. But I wish I could
Right.
send you a bag, Bridget.
I wonder if any of those restaurants are open today. Do restaurants usually close? I don't know.
I think well, the majority of stuff is open here, but I know my job is closing at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So yeah, so I don't know about every place else because Lowe's just started that because we had to work last year. All we could do was hear the fireworks. We couldn't see nothing. So now they doing it to where on the 4th you got to take personal time off, sick time or vacation day. But they're not. Oh, I'm like, well, that's good because nobody don't want to work on the 4th of July.
That's right. We
Yeah.
have a Teresa House in the house. Hi, baby girl. How are you?
Hey, April. Happy 4th of July.
Same to you, my darling. And go ahead and give us something.
Happy 4th of July, chat. Hope everybody
Hello.
enjoying their day. Hey. Um,
You're so
I
beautiful.
just came up to talk about my son-in-law, the narcissist, the biggest one I've ever met in my life. I already talked about him on Ray Mary panel a while ago, but
Yes.
he's still the same person doing the same old thing, getting on my damn nerve. Excuse me, y'all.
Say
My
what
daughter
you
is
want.
still my daughter is still going through with him, of course, because they have children, and he act like he don't want to get the divorce. And one minute, he want to get it, then the next minute he giving my daughter the run around about it. He is just baby. Everything she said on this panel is the truth. And they also associate money with love. Just because
Yep.
they take care of you and do stuff for you, they consider that love. And that's not love.
Mm-hmm.
That is not everything she said about her husband is the same thing about my son-in-law. The same exact thing. The love bombing, all of that. He did all of that with my baby just to let her down. And then before they even separated, he had got somebody pregnant.
Oh my God.
And yeah, the girl had the baby on my birthday at that this year.
Oh my God.
Baby, he taking my baby through HE double hockey sticks. Like for real, for real. Taking my daughter through so many changes. So many. He is the worst.
Well,
The worst.
mine don't even know I filed for divorce yet because he haven't even gotten served yet, and I hate to see how he gonna act when he do get served. Hell, he didn't have no money when he was with me, so you know that it's gonna cost money. Okay. Oh Lord, I ain't looking forward to
And
that.
they filed for separation together. Together they
Oh,
filed
okay,
the
got you.
separation papers, right?
I got you.
And in any event, when my daughter is like, okay, come on, let's go ahead and do. And I think he don't want to do the divorce because he know he gonna have to pay child support. He gonna have to, see though. Even though he's a good father, I would never take that away from him. He treat them kids good. He take care of them. He do everything for them. In any event, y'all, he still wanna boss my daughter around, tell my daughter what she can and can't do, what she not supposed to be doing, what she's supposed to be doing. Dude, you're all the way
Jesus.
in New York. She's in North Carolina. Y'all not together. You got a whole woman. And then his
Hmm.
girlfriend tried to break. He had the kids for the summer. The girlfriend told him, either you take them kids back or we gonna break up. He was like, oh, so we just gonna break up because you're not going to tell me what to do with my children. And my
Wow.
God, she just had a baby by him. So I'm
Mm.
like, what is wrong with this chick? She don't like
Yeah.
my daughter. She don't like my daughter because my daughter sent her texts from him telling her, that he still love her. If they could get their family back together, he ain't where he want to be. So she got upset because she knows that my son-in-law is still in love with my daughter, and if my
Right.
daughter say, come on, let's go, he gonna leave her at the drop of the dime because he still want to be with my daughter. And I'm like, Dora, you got to set some boundaries with him. Like he
Yeah.
only supposed to call you about the children, text you
Right.
about the children and nothing else.
Hmm.
When I
And
tell y'all,
and that's another thing they do. They talk bad to you to their
yes,
to the new supply. So yeah, that's something that they do. They
yes,
talk trash and they talk bad about you to anybody that would listen. They got people thinking you the crazy one when you know he the crazy
yes.
one. So yeah.
Yes. And y'all
Wow.
know he get it from his father because his father is the same way. His father told my daughter, ain't no man gonna want you with all them kids.
Oh my
Oh
God.
Oh yeah,
wow.
I cussed him out. Yeah, I did.
I would
I
have
did.
too.
I did. I did. I cussed him out. And then I called his son, told his son, you tell your father don't he ever call my motherfucking daughter.
That's right.
Ever. He don't have nothing to say my child. I don't do you that
No.
way, and he not gonna do my daughter that way. Baby, I done cursed him and his father out so many times it ain't even funny. It ain't even I
Wow.
wanna say and then one day he came to my daughter's house when my daughter was when they had the same place together. Now one thing about him, this is how a narcissist is. They will set you up beautiful, pretty.
Hmm.
Okay. He put my daughter in a bad place. I mean, the place was beautiful, decked the place out and everything, but he wanted to be the boss of everything. She can't have no friends in there. She can't do this. She
Oh,
can't do that. So she had to move from there. The place was beautiful, y'all. I'm telling you, that place was gorgeous. But my daughter couldn't do what she wanted to do, so she left and got her own place in Raleigh. And I was mad about that because she was closer to me. And then
right.
she had to move away from me to get away from him. Because of course y'all know he had the keys and he'd come and go as he
I
pleased.
remember you
It was
saying that.
terrible. It was terrible. And then he went in the house one day. I was on my way over there, me and my husband, to keep because I kept the kids while she was at work and he was at work. And she called. No, when I got there, she was like, "Mom," I was like, "What?" She was like, "Do you know he came here like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, standing over me,
Jesus.
Oh
standing
Lord.
over my
Jesus.
baby?" So I called him. I was like, "What the fuck? What was you gonna do to her?
Right.
Like, you must don't want your life.
That's right. I
Mm.
would have
What
been like
you
that too.
possibly was gonna do to my child?
Oh my
Like, are
goodness.
you crazy? Did you lose
Right.
your
Guys,
standing over my baby?"
yeah, that's
Like,
crazy.
this
Teresa
dude.
and Bridget, Ramona, I don't mean to cut you off, darling. I apologize. Miss V is on the panel. Everyone say hello to Miss V.
Hey,
Hey,
Miss
And
Miss
B.
B.
Good morning, everybody. Happy 4th, everybody.
Happy
Um,
4th, Miss B.
Thank
yes.
you. I really wasn't prepared to come up. I was just going to come by and just speak to everybody and support Miss April and move on. I'm still in the bed. Too much partying last night, but that's who I am. I'm a Louisiana girl that likes to party. Um,
Okay, now.
but anyway, I did want to come up because my channel is about motivation, inspiration, education, and humor, and basically the humor is on me. But I was married to a narcissist, so I have a lot of experience when it comes to that. 20
Mm,
years of it, and basically, from what I've heard from you two ladies, everything you've said, I've experienced. It is very true. Um, when we met, we had worked together at a facility, Amico Chemicals, out of Chocolate Bayou here in Texas. And I had divorced from my first husband. As most of you know, I've been married 3 times. I'm a widow now. The last husband passed away. He was my second husband. The first husband and I were married 7.5 years, and that is my daughter's father. And that didn't turn out too well. I was 25 when I first married him. So about a year later, I already knew this guy from work. And we started talking and we got married about 2 years later. It all started out just like, a perfect marriage. Going places, doing things, traveling, vacationing, having fun. And things kind of just changed. They were gradually changing, and I was seeing the changes.
mm,
He was a great provider, made money, brought the money home, but his life was messed up because he was truly an alcoholic. But
mm.
it took me a while. I thought he was just a social drinker at first, but it took me a little while to see that he was a complete alcoholic with narcissistic behavior. That's double trouble.
Mm.
Yes.
So He had a son, I had a daughter. So we were raising the two kids together. He was very good to the children. He was very good to me. But when he decided to go into one of these rages, he never fought, but he was very abusive. And me being the type of person I am, I'm happy-go-lucky, relaxed, laid back, just want to enjoy life all my life and have fun. He wasn't even fun anymore. Not at all. He got to the place where he just wanted to stay out, hang in the bars and the clubs and all of that stuff. And I'm still trying to hold the family together because I have his son I'm raising and I have my daughter I'm raising. And both of the kids adored him, which made it harder for me to leave him. Long story short, as I was getting ready to walk out the door after, I think it was about 17 years then.
Oh.
Yeah. He came down with a 4th stage colon cancer. There was no way I was going to leave him at that point because he didn't have anybody else. And the kids would have not been happy with me. So I was caught in a catch-22 situation with that. So I prayed about it and I decided, okay, that would be wrong for me to leave him, regardless of what he's taken this household through. I'm going to stay there. I'm going to get him through this, and then we'll see where it goes from there. And I talked to him, and I told him, I said, I had already discussed with you that I was out of here. I'm really tired of you. I don't give a damn about you, the house, nothing. It's about the kids, getting them on their feet, because both kids were in college at that time. He said, okay, please don't leave me. We went to MD Anderson for almost 2 years. He had to have a complete rectal, reconstruction, the ileoscopy, all of that. Carrying him to MD Anderson some days in the back of the truck on a blow-up mattress because of the radiation had burned him so bad on his butt. He couldn't sit down. I went through all of that. Hands had turned black like a monkey. Feet had turned black like a monkey because of the harsh chemo that they had given him. Couldn't stand hot water. I mean, the whole house had to change around him. But it's just me now because the kids are in college. They would only come home when they could come home. And being kids, they coming home to have fun. You don't expect for them to come home and take care of him. I mean, they're children, okay? They're young adults growing up. So basically, I'm working every day. I'm running home in the noon hour, making sure he eats because he didn't want to eat and he had lost a lot of weight. So I'm making sure I prepare a meal at lunch and then running back to work. Some days I couldn't go to work. I'm in the beauty shop at that time. I've left the plant and opened up my own business. I'm rescheduling clients. He's sick. He's got to go to the doctor. Baby, after that, 2nd year, and he got back up after them reconstructing him a whole new rectum again, and you gonna get back out there and you going back to the alcoholic life that you left. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. And I left and never looked back. I saw him for the first time at one of our friends' funeral about 2 months ago. One of our friends passed away who had been in both of our lives the whole time together and divorced. And he was a pallbearer at the funeral. He didn't even know I was there because I came in late and sit at the back of the church. When he passed by, he threw his sunshades on and he told a friend of mine, oh my gosh, she looks good. I haven't seen her in 15 years. And he even went to the point to tell her, I know I was wrong for my behavior and what I did. And she rebutted back to him and said, well, you ain't no better. So she's in a better place with a better life. And I'm glad she went on with her life. And I'm glad I did too, because y'all all know the last husband I met was just love of my life. And he passed away. It's been almost 3 years ago now when
Wow.
COVID was out there. So I'm at this point in my life where if I can say or do anything to help somebody who's going through a alcoholic partner, husband, or in a relationship, or somebody that's narcissistic, run, baby, run. That's all I can say.
Yeah, because
Because you'll waste a lot of time.
my husband used to drink a lot too. Oh my God, he would get so drunk, and you couldn't tell me I wasn't talking to the devil, because some of the stuff that was coming out his mouth, I had to rebuke him right where he was at. Like,
They
devil, you
do
better get
that.
up out my house. Yeah,
They
yeah,
verbally beat you down, is
yep.
what they
They,
do.
they sure do.
And here I am getting up, going to church on Sunday morning, but you laying there in the bed because you just came in at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and you
Oh,
too drunk to even know that I'm even getting up out the bed to go to church. People out here on this YouTube, uh, on these platforms and in these chats have been through a lot. And I
yes,
don't mind sharing my experiences if it will help somebody.
yes,
Because life for nobody, I don't think, has been a bed of roses. You've had your ups, you've had your downs, you've had good days, you've had bad days, you've had sick days. I mean,
Man,
we've all shared basically the same
that's
thing.
me.
And what's so funny, this fool went so far as to get baptized because he knew I was in the church. He went so far as to get baptized. Ain't been to church, ain't been to church since, well, ever since
Mhm.
COVID. And I don't have to worry about him going to, that was the church that we had joined after we left my church, because he got baptized at my church, and then we moved to his family church, which I still attend because I love the church. But I don't have to worry about seeing him. I'm like, how you just gonna get baptized? I
But
mean, did everything in total opposite.
They live a lie, is what they
Yes,
do.
they do.
yeah,
Yes,
They live
ma'am.
a straight out lie. They look good for the public. This was a man who was a supervisor over almost 1,000 people when we worked together at Amoco at the plant. We worked in a gasoline and plastic plant. And he could go out there very, very sharp, had been in the Navy 14 years. And back when he went in the Navy, because you got to remember our ages. I'm 70. He would be 72 now. These people depended on him to keep that plant rolling. He could go out there and make $100 and some $1,000s a year every day he went to work. I don't care how drunk he may have been that night. He got up and he went to work, and he took care of home. But it was what you had to put up with to go
yeah,
along with him and his program. And they loved him out there at work. And I would be thinking to myself,
they
Lord have mercy, if you only knew.
knew.
yeah.
Miss V, there someone in the chat said I need help trying to let go of a soul tie to a narcissist.
Mm.
You're going to just have to make up your mind that
Yeah.
that's not the life you want to live.
That's it.
Don't be afraid to hit the door, but do your homework first. Make sure that you have enough income to go out and get your own place. It doesn't have to be anything luxury. I moved into one of my rent houses and I stayed there a whole year rent free. Instead of renting it out, I lived in it and got my life back together and got on track where I could move on to the life I wanted to live. You can do it. It takes a lot of prayer, and you have to be faithful and believe in God that He's
Yes.
never going to let you down, and no matter
Yes.
what the
I'm
weather.
telling you. Yes. I
You
can
have a
witness to that.
support system. Somebody around you needs to be a support system for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be financial. If you can go out and you have a job, you can make it if you have a job. You may have to get a roommate. You have to do what you got to do to get away from that behavior.
Yes.
Because it will drag you down. You will be laying there crying. You'll be laying there depressed.
Yep. Yep.
I
Yes.
mean, it's
Mhm.
not going to change by you staying
Mm-mm.
there until he chooses to change. And most of them are not going to change. They are who
Nope.
they are.
Yep.
Yes. When the marriage was ending for me and my last husband, he had stayed out the whole weekend with his girl, he let me know he was at the point where he didn't care anymore. He says, he texted me and told me where he was at. And so when he came home, he sat in a chair and I was sitting on the couch. I came in and I was crying and crying. And he's looking at me. He says, I just realized I can't be married. I just, after his fourth marriage, I didn't even know he had been married that many times, or fifth marriage. He says, I just realized after this fifth marriage that I can't be married. And I told him, I said, you know what, brother, I'm not sitting here crying because of all this stuff you did, you coming home, being out on the weekend and all this. I said, I'm crying because what is it inside of me that makes me think I have to deal with this kind of behavior, to be treated like this? What is wrong with me? Now that was at the moment when I looked within myself and said, why do I feel like I deserve this? And that was when my life changed. I got, like you said, Ms. V, I moved into a boarding home that had 3 guys in it. This little old lady from the church, I went to church that Sunday, and she said, she got up and announced in church, is there anybody looking for a place to stay? I knew that was God speaking to me, and I ran to her after church and I moved in there, and my life drastically changed from that point. I'm talking for the better. The blessings of God just showered my life. But that's what I had to do. I had to get to where I was like, I don't deserve this. I'm not doing none of this to this. I'm not living like this, treating him, cheating on him, doing none of that. I'm being faithful. I'm trying to work this because I still loved him, but I had to love myself more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And Teresa, I know, having the experience with my daughters, I absolutely understand. I'm with you. I feel everything. I'm amazed because what I wanted to do was unalive somebody, because when it comes to your children and you see them going through these things, that is a very difficult. And then you want to, my daughters they didn't want me to get involved because I'm the crazy mom. Do you want me to go deal with them?
Me too, April.
And he know that too. No, Mom, don't do nothing. That's what they would tell me. Don't do nothing.
That's what my daughter say. My daughter like, Mom, don't even, because me and him had it out on Facebook. We had it out. When I tell y'all, I cursed him out like a dog on Facebook. I cursed him out. And he was like, my daughter was like, Mom, just don't say nothing else to him. Just don't say nothing. I'm going to deal with it, Mom. I'm going to deal with it. He don't mess with me because he think I'm psycho. He think I'm psycho. And the kids be like, Grandma, you're not going to talk to Daddy? I said, no, I don't speak to your daddy.
Right.
Let me interrupt right there. Until your daughter makes up her mind that she wants out of that type of situation.
Oh, she's out of it, Miss B. She's not.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good.
She hasn't been with him in over a year.
That is wonderful.
He done had a whole baby. He got a whole new family now.
Jesus.
He done had a whole new baby, Miss B.
It really doesn't matter what he does at this point. Let him live his life and let her be happy living her life.
I mean, the only thing, Miss B, sorry to cut you off, is that they're still married, and he act like, he don't want to get the divorce. He's still trying to put in for her what to do, when to do, how to do, and then they have the children. So it's a lot, Miss Reed.
Let me tell you, with the divorce from him, with the narcissist behavior he had, I made up my mind. I wasn't going to talk to him anymore. I had talked all I was going to talk. I was finished. I was done talking. I went down to Galveston County Courthouse. I got my attorney. He got his attorney. And he didn't even show up for the divorce at all. They gave me everything I wanted. He didn't contest it enough, and he knew he was wrong.
See, he would contest it, Ms. B, and I know he would. My daughter know he would, and he told my daughter he would. He told her he would. He said he'd get a divorce when he want to get a divorce. She don't tell him what to do. See, it's a lot. It's a lot. And then she has to talk to him because of the children are only 4, 7, and 9. They're not big children. They're not teenagers or nothing
They're
like that.
young kids.
They're still young,
Does
and they
he
still love their
pay
daddy.
child support?
No, he takes care of them.
Okay.
Like literally takes care of them children.
You said he's
So,
Okay. Well, that's a good thing because a lot of them don't
Yeah.
do that.
Sure don't.
yeah, he's a very good father now. I'm never going to take that away from him. He been from day one, from when they was in my daughter's womb. Like, he's a very good father.
And
That he is.
that's typical of my ex too. He was a very, very good father. I mean, we took my daughter down to Xavier in New Orleans. That was the school she chose to go to in college. She was biology pre-med. He bought the computer. He bought up everything she needed. Rented a van, put all the stuff out of her bedroom in the van, and we spent the night there. My niece went along with us, and we helped her get a room together and everything. It was his birthday. We went out and we celebrated his birthday, and he was a perfect father. His son was in electrical engineering. He supported him. But today, it's sad to say that his son married a wonderful woman, has 4 kids, a set of twins, a beautiful home, and she had to put him out because of the same behavior.
Oh, Lord.
See, Miss V, that's what I said, Miss V. They will set you up so beautiful. They will say he brought my daughter a car. I mean, my daughter lived good. Okay, with him, he took care of everything, bills, and even though
she lived good physically, but mentally she was tortured.
Exactly. They are terrible, Miss V. They are terrible.
It comes down to, do you want to live a great materialistic life, or do you want to live a fruitful, happy, peaceful life with harmony, where you're not bonded, you're not in bondage with this person?
Right.
Because that's the way I felt. I felt like I was in bondage. Like, I'm happy at work, I'm happy around people, I'm happy everywhere until I go home. Why am I not happy at home when this is the man I chose to marry?
And
you got to get away from that.
And that should be the one place you should have pieces in your own house.
When you don't have peace in your home, it's just like you're living a double life.
That's right.
Right.
You live in one life out in the street, and you live in one life at home. And sooner or later, it starts to show. My friends at church and my friends, just real friends, they all saw it. They wouldn't say a word. And then all of a sudden, one day I went to choir rehearsal one night, and one of my friends came up to me and she says, "It's showing all over your face now. You need to make a decision. I'm not telling you to go. I'm not telling you to stay, but that you're too smart. You're too educated. You are a wonderful person. Why are you putting up with it? The kids are grown now. It's time for you to make up your mind." And it just opened up my whole world. If somebody on the outside can see it, then you are stupid for staying here talking about keeping a family together. These kids are grown and they ain't coming back.
Right.
Once they leave home, they're not coming back unless they have to.
And you know what? And you know
when I made up my mind.
And you know one thing that I did when my husband left me, I went straight no contact. I didn't call him. I didn't text him. I have not called or text or anything. It's like I fell off the face of the earth. Straight no contact. That's the only thing that's helping me.
My daughter did that for like a month or so, but then the kids.
Right, you got the kids. Right.
They said, nah. But we wanted, because he came to my granddaughter graduation, right? So my daughter let him take all the kids. When he left the graduation, my daughter said she let him take all the kids with him. She was like, get a hotel. He was like, why should I get a hotel? That's my house too. My daughter said, no, it ain't. You get a hotel with your children. So he had to go get a hotel with them, right? My daughter made him go get a hotel with the kids. So he did that. But then
I really think too, I'm cutting you off because I'm thinking of something. I really think you do better when you drop all contact with them.
Yeah.
because at that point they're gone. They're out of your life. You can move on with your life then. And that's exactly what I did. When the papers came back at signed, sealed by the judge, I'm done. And I
Yep.
moved on. And God blessed me with the last husband, who was only in my life for 10 years, but that was the best 10 years of my life
Mm.
in a relationship, in a marriage.
Yes.
Mm. I pray the
Really?
same for my daughter, that she, that she gets into a relationship with somebody who really loves her for her, you know,
Yeah.
and
Amen.
accepts her
Amen.
for who she is, and not be trying to, boss her around, or manipulate her, or do none of that stuff to her.
I was
She's going to be
very,
very
very
careful.
careful
Yeah, my daughter's going to be
because
very
of
careful.
what I had been through with him.
Mm-hmm.
When this guy came through, I was like, you don't even live in the same city. I ain't never been into long distance love affairs and all of that. But I actually met him through his niece. She moved down from Baltimore and she was working at the Space Center at the time. And she came through my beauty shop on a recommendation from other people who worked there. And she looked at me and she said, "You are very beautiful, but I don't see a ring on your finger." I said, "Oh, I'm happily divorced." And I just left it alone. She didn't say very much else to me. And it was funny how she actually got us together. She asked me for a card when she was checking out. And she said, "I'll be coming in every week. What day can I come and what time?" And I gave her the day and time. In the meantime, she called him up in Baltimore and told him about me after one visit. And he just called me up just spontaneously on a Sunday afternoon. And I'm sitting there in the chair watching television, reclined back. It's Sunday afternoon. I'm just relaxing. And this guy calls and he says who he is, and he says, he's speaking to me like he's known me all my life. And he's like, how you doing today? And just talking. And I'm like, I'm fine, but I don't know you. And so I said, and how did you get my number? Then he finally told me, he said, "My niece came to you to get her hair done. And she spoke so highly of you. I've been divorced for 18 years. And I'm ready to settle down with somebody now. I'm looking for a wife. I'm going to just be upfront and honest with you."
I
We
respect.
started, he told me after about 2 or 3 months of just talking on the telephone, he said, "It's the holidays. I'm a man. I'm not going to invite you up to a strange place where you don't know anybody. I would like to come down and meet you." We had the best time. He came down. A friend of mine was a singer, and he was singing at the casino in Louisiana. We went there to hear Harold that night sing. And that morning, he said, "How far do you live from here? How far is your family from here?" I was like, "Oh, my family." This was in Lake Charles. I'm from Monroe. He says, I told him, I said, "It's about 5 hours." He says, "Let's go." And I was like, "We're going to drive all the way from Monroe?" And after being up late last night, he said, "I want to meet your family." Huh? He gets down there and he walks in like he's known them. It's ironic that he looks so much like my family. My baby brother, who just passed away of kidney failure, even told him that. He said, "Man, I don't know you, but you look like family." So they started making a joke talking about they was going to check and make sure he wasn't family. But before we left there, he told my oldest brother, he says, "Look, her mom and dad are gone. So I'm talking to you. I'm going to ask you for a hand in marriage." And I just fell out. I was like, "What?" This was like crazy to me. And my brother says, "Oh no, I don't get in her business like that. She don't get in our business. I don't get in her business. But whatever she chooses to do, we support her. But we really like you." And so it ended up about a year later, we were married. And he came down to Houston, packed up everything in a big 24-foot Ryder truck, and moved up to Baltimore to his house.
Wow.
And things went good until he passed away of COVID and, of course, respiratory failure. He had been in an accident going to work that morning. We lived in Baltimore County in Catonsville, and he worked in DC and I worked in DC. I was working for who was I working for then? I was working for Hertz Rental Car at the DC airport. And he was working back. He had retired, but went back to work for Verizon, who he had worked for almost 30 years before he retired. And then they called him back to work again, training supervisors, basically. And his office was in DC. And he was coming from work and did a head-on, and it put him in the hospital, he was pretty broken up at the time, but he would have survived. But he caught COVID in the hospital, and that's what happened.
No.
And I was out in Las Vegas at the time celebrating my birthday because he had told me that he had this project he had to finish up, going out there with family, celebrate, and we'll celebrate when I'm off the project and you get back home. In the meantime, I could not get back to him. The world shut down. There was no planes out of anywhere. I had talked to him on Thursday. His mother passed that Wednesday. He didn't even know it. He passed that Thursday. That Friday, when I was supposed to be getting a plane out to come back home, everything was canceled.
Oh no.
I never saw him again.
Oh no. I am so sorry.
Yeah. But I have lived through it.
You sure
It took me a while. It took me a while because there were some mornings I woke up and it was like, it's like a dream because you weren't there. You weren't there at the funeral. You weren't there at the closing of the grave. You weren't there through none of it. So it's a harder death for me than most people because I wasn't there.
Right.
So it's been going on 3 years now, and I'm over it. But it made it very hard for me moving back here. But I'm glad that I had family here. I had my sister here. You know, she does not let me go through anything like today. You're at my house at 3 o'clock. I don't want to hear nothing. And most days are good days for me because I'm just a happy-go-lucky person.
Right.
But it really took its toll on me, just trying to come back here and start a new life without him. And at my age too, which I thought we would be together forever. I'd finally found my true love. And it's not that way. But God does not make mistakes at all. That was
make me want to cry.
No. I'm not trying to make anybody cry. I'm not trying to make anybody have any sympathy or empathy for me. It is my life. That is the way it is. And you got to pick up the pieces and you got to move on. And you got to think you're not the only one in this world who has been through this. If they could go through it, you can go through it too. You got to be strong to live a life in this world, especially today. And you got people who don't understand anything about your life, don't know anything about your life, but they'll come for you in the worst times of your life.
Right.
So, you know, pick yourself up, keep it moving, go enjoy your life, whatever life you have left. He wouldn't want it this way.
Right.
And nobody else around you who loves you want it that way. They want to see you happy. They want to see you keep moving. And that's what I do.
That's right, Miss V. You are an example. God definitely, you make it very, very clear that you have a personal relationship with God. That's what Ramona said the same thing. It's like, you know, that if it wasn't, God will show up in the hardest times of our lives to show himself real. And I say this just like Ramona, when you better have a God of your understanding, because life is going to show up for every single one of us.
Yes.
And when God will use you, Ms. V, God has definitely used you to show people that might normally not make it through the situation. It's the same thing with Roz. When my daughter passed, it popped in my head. I'm not kidding you guys. God, I saw it there. If Roz is making it through this, because immediately my first thought is, I'm not going to be able to do this. no. And I said, if she's doing it, so can I. If Angel Mama's doing it, so can I. So those
It's
things
just so many content creators out here who've lost their kids here lately. You know, Diva
yes,
the Boss. Who else lost a child out here lately? And it's been men. That's what
yes,
I stopped one day and I took a look at that and I said, it's all boys, young
yes.
men that are leaving these content creators. Diamond lost a son. It's just so many. And I stop and I think about that sometimes. Why is it the men out here now that God is taking away? But I think it shows that we are strong women. Black women tend to be stronger to me because
Yeah,
we go through so much in life. We
that's
go
right.
through things that other women of other races don't even
That's
they couldn't
right.
handle it.
You're
We're,
right.
we're, we're just tough, strong women, and we have to stand tall and move on.
Yes.
Um, uh, uh, let's see, Lucinda just lost her mom out here, and people
Right.
have to understand that you don't go after people when they going through stuff in life.
No, you're not
Yeah.
supposed
Because
to.
when it boomerangs back around on you, you better be as strong as that person that you hit upside the head.
Yes, because
That's
God
Yes.
right.
always spins the block. God
He
spins the
does.
block.
Yeah.
Let me
And,
say,
and and one thing,
go
Miss
ahead.
V, one thing, we all gonna have to pay that price one day. Ain't nobody
Exactly.
exempt from
Nope.
death.
That's
Mm-mm.
right.
We
Sure is.
all
That's
gonna
right,
die.
Teresa.
I try
We
very
all
hard
gonna die.
to treat
Everybody is
people
gonna
right
die.
because of that, because of what you just said, that we all gonna have to pay that price. Okay.
That's right.
And
Yes.
I don't know who's gonna have to pass me my last cup of water. So why
Right.
should I treat people ugly?
Yep.
Right.
Because
Right.
even if they treated me ugly, that's on you. I ain't got to answer for that.
That's
That's
And
right.
when
right.
I know in my heart I haven't done anything to you, I got to keep on moving, baby. You
And
work
Exactly.
you
for
know
me.
what,
You
Miss
work,
V?
ma'am.
You know what? I think people are not happy in their lives. So since they're miserable, you know, misery loves company. And
Yeah.
Yep.
since they're miserable, they want everybody else to be miserable. When they see that you're happy and that your life is good, they want to bring you some kind of misery.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
That's
telling
what I
you,
was
I believe
saying.
that's what it is. People are not happy with their
Mhm.
life.
Yeah.
It was
Now,
kind of eye opener for me out here on social media because I don't have people like that in my real life. The people that are in my real life have been around for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. And you've met a lot of them on my channel. And it's like I've never even faced that in real life of people just hating on you or lying on you. And it's like, okay, this is a whole different platform. And that's what I had to realize. They don't know you. They
Mm-mm.
have a problem with you. You don't have a
Mm-hmm.
problem with them because
Exactly.
you don't care. You living your life. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's what I decided to do. I'm gonna live my life.
that's right.
Exactly.
Exactly. And you
Because we
can't
only
worry
got
about
one, Miss B. We only
and you,
got one.
and you can't
Exactly.
worry about what other people think, because if you sit and worry about what other people think, you'd be just as crazy as they are.
But
Exactly.
that's
And
that's
you
their
don't really
thought to do.
want that kind of person in your life. You really don't.
No,
What are they doing
Mm-mm,
no.
for you?
mm-mm,
Exactly.
mm-mm,
If they're not doing anything
mm-mm,
that's positive in your life, you don't need them.
You right about that.
That's
So
mm-mm.
that's
right.
the way I take it, ladies. But I really got to go and get myself together so I can go over here and help my sister so she won't be calling here mad at me. But I've really enjoyed the panel. This has been a great topic of conversation. I'm glad I was able to come over and contribute something to the conversation.
Yeah.
And you ladies have a happy 4th of July, and I'll
Thank
talk with y'all later.
You
you for your
too, Miss
Have a
encouraging
blessed
B.
words.
day, Miss
And
B.
Miss B,
Okay.
next time I want you to say a prayer before you leave, okay?
Okay.
If you want to
Next
do it
time
now,
or this time?
do it this time. If you, because I
Okay.
felt led to ask you.
Dear Heavenly Father, please bless and take care of each and every one of us who are assembled here today. God, we don't know the hour, we don't know the day, but we know that you are God of all. You stand tall, you take care of us, wrap your loving arms around us, give us protection out here on
Yes,
these byways
yes,
and highways today, Lord, and
Yes.
each and every day. Please bless those. who are in need of prayer. I don't know what they need, but you do. These and other blessings we ask in your son Jesus' name forever. Amen.
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 Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Amen.
Courtney. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Love you
You
Bye
much.
too.
bye.
Love you
Bye-bye.
too. Bye bye, baby. Guys, I just wanted to thank Roz um, and Marianne Watson. They sent super stickers and chats. I just definitely want to acknowledge you guys for doing that. I thank you. Thank you, Roz. I'm always so blessed when you grace my platform. That's how Miss April feels. And I thank you so much for coming and supporting me. I had asked if anybody wanted to come up on the panel. Miss Lawanda, you know, your story was very, very powerful when you came the last time. It did bless and help people, a lot of people. I don't know if you said you get emotional, but that's absolutely okay, and it's absolutely understandable that you do get emotional, because it is something to be emotional about. Absolutely. And God is blessing your life and definitely blessing your daughter. I pray for that situation. But is there anyone, I'm gonna drop the link. I was asking Day if she wanted to come up and talk or grace the panel, or anyone else. Is there anyone else? Let me drop the link, and you ladies that are still here, you can share some more. Well, wait a minute. It is 1:35 and somebody else might want to come on and do a live. So let me, if anybody else wants to come up, let me know. If not, we're going to end this live. Thank you, Teresa, and thank you, Ramona. Awesome testimonies. Miss Teresa, I remember when you started talking, I remember when you were in Ray Mary's chat speaking on this, and it greatly touched me when you did the last time. So when you were talking, I said, oh my God, I remember. And when you were sharing, but I'm glad that to hear that your daughter is doing well and nothing devastating happened, because remember, Teresa, it was at the point where it could have gotten really, really, really bad. So God is so good.
Yes,
Okay,
he is.
she's going to
Yes,
catch it.
ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
And
April, yes, ma'am.
yeah, and Ramona, you're such a sweetheart, and thank you for sharing. And we do want you to come back after everything is done and the smoke is cleared, to let us know, you know, what's going on or what happened. But I want everyone to have a great Fourth with your family. If you're not
You
doing
too,
anything,
April.
thank
Thank you
you.
for having me. I
Yeah, thank
appreciate
I
you.
it.
Thank
appreciate you,
you.
Teresa, so much for coming up. You can come up anytime. Anybody
Yes,
that wants
ma'am.
to ever come up, tell me to drop the link, and I will, just to even give whatever. It don't even have to be on the subject. It could be something inspiring that God is giving you, or what you're going through. We're going to pray for Nellie Hill. I'm glad that she opened up and shared that, because it gives us, when people do that, then we know specifically what to pray for them. Nellie Hill is very well on her way. She's such a sweet baby, and I know God has her in the situation, in protection and everything. And I thank Ms. V for praying for all of our protection, our family's protection. Everybody just have a wonderful Fourth. Is there anything else you ladies want to share?
No, that's it. I just would like for everyone to keep my daughter, her name is Ladora, in y'all prayers, her and her children, you
Yeah.
know, and that everything will come out good for everyone that's involved. Even him. I still pray for him
Go,
from
girl.
time to time, you
Yes.
know.
You about to
So
make me
just
shout.
keep them, and his name is Abdul. So just keep them, you know, in y'all prayers for me. I would greatly appreciate it.
Amen.
Yes, ma'am. And tell your daughter keep her head up, and I definitely be
Yes.
praying for her because I know what
Thank
she
you,
going
Ramona. I'll be
through.
praying for you as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. I appreciate it. It was nice talking with you today as
Nice
well.
talking with you too, Ramona.
Yeah.
April, you know I got love for you,
I
girl.
love you
Yes.
too.
And you
Esther,
enjoy your 4th of July.
I will. I'm just chillaxing. I might get me a crab boil somewhere.
Ah, messing with you, April.
My daughter's not doing nothing, so I'm gonna have to get me dude, which I call him dude, a crab boil, honey. I think that's on the agenda. All right, guys, love you much.
Everybody
I
in the
love you.
chat,
Thank you
love
so much.
y'all.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
guys. Don't forget to hit that like button, sweethearts. Bye bye.
Bye bye.